Episode 78 of Multiplaying is brought to you by Brian's Dick.
Things, it's fine.
Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
It's fine.
It's all right. Welcome back to Multiplaying, everybody. Tonight on the show, what are you drinking, Brian?
I'm drinking a Mott's Clamato Caesar.
Oh,
Extra spicy.
Dude.
It's yummy.
I remember you talked about drinking one of those maybe a year ago or so, and Shannon got one, and just she was cursing you for a while.
They're tasty. Listen, it's like you guys have what's the Caesar over there? It's like fuck it, Bloody Mary. That's it. Yeah, it's the same thing. You can't taste the
but without the clam juice in it, without seafood involved.
She would disagree. It is not the same thing.
There's nothing that clam doesn't improve.
Ugh. Chocolate cake, you know? But anyways, Dean, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking a Copperhook. It's a beer from up here.
A beer from up here.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
fucking good.
It's fucking good. That's on the label. Rare, what are you having tonight?
I have a bottle of sparkling grape juice. Fancy weekend. It's on sale at Walmart.
What brand?
Fancy podcast. The Welch's.
Wow.
It's pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Jason.
Pretty good straight from the bottle.
Jason, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Miller Lite Tall Boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And I am having an Amaretto Sour. Yay.
Yay.
In my awesome Atari Missile Command glass. That is awesome. It's so good. It's my favorite glass. Let's see. Basically, this show is going to be about primarily two things. Since it's been a while and Skyrim has come out since the last show, we're going to talk about Skyrim a bunch. And because today the NDA got lifted for Star Wars The Old Republic, we're going to be talking about that a little bit. But before we delve into all that, there's one game I'm not sure if anybody else here has played, but I know Jason and I have, and I'd like to touch on quickly. It's Saints Row the Third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear about it.
Yeah.
All right. Jason.
Yeah.
How many hours have you put into it yet?
Maybe like 3.
Maybe about 3. I think I've put maybe 4 or 5 into it, so I'm probably not too far ahead of you. General thoughts real quick. That game is pure in like insanity, but it is the gamiest game that I have played in a while.
Yes.
It's how should I put that? It's like when I play it, it's a fucking game. It's not like I'm trying to become immersed in it at all. It's just a freaking game, but it is so much fun.
Yeah, it's a virtual playground of just shit to do.
Yeah.
Let me give you a quick example.
Mm-hmm.
I have a shark gun that
what?
shoots. It shoots like guts, fish guts.
It's like a squid,
can
or
be-
something, isn't it?
Yeah. So I can be on the street and I'll have people shooting at me, and I can shoot, or just regular pedestrians, which I like to do, just innocent people walking by. I can shoot them with these guts, and then they kind of they get kind of freaked out, like looking at themselves, like they're they got a bunch of dirty shit on them, and you'll hear kind of a rumbling, and it's like bait to attract sharks to bust up into the road.
Awesome.
And
Wow.
Jaws just pops up and eats whoever I shoot with it.
That's awesome.
It shoots chum. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So is it basically just like a new Just Cause, sort of?
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you say that, because I was playing. I've been playing the last couple of days, and today I looked on my Steam thing. I'm like, I'm gonna clear up some hard drive space and delete Just Cause 2, because I think this
It replaces
is
it.
Oh,
Yes,
man.
yeah.
It must be good if you're getting rid of Just Cause 2. That's pretty serious.
Yeah, Just Cause 2 was all about fucking around, but Just Cause 2 was not nearly as much fun fucking around as Saints Row the third.
And the thing that when I was looking at that before I hit delete, that I've realized Saints Row is just infinitely better at is the actual story. I mean, it's
Yes.
really stupid, it's silly, but the writing, it's really a funny game.
The writing is awesome. The dialogue is great. The voice work is fantastic.
Yeah, it's like very natural. The delivery
Yes.
is awesome.
It's like if someone was writing a somewhat campy comedy, but was very crude, but had really good actors involved in it. It's just, everything just flows so well. The thing that I messaged Jason like yesterday or maybe it was the night before. The thing that I was not expecting from this, because it's the original Saints Rows were derived from Grand Theft Auto, but they kind of went off in just the more wild avenue rather than staying more serious. But the thing that I was not expecting was how well done the missions are. I was not expecting to be more captivated by doing missions rather than just partaking in the open environment. If I can do the open stuff, but that gets kind of boring pretty quick, in my opinion. You can have fun doing that after you do a couple missions, at least for me, but the missions themselves are really, really well done. And a lot of it is because of how they structured the cutscenes and how the cutscenes go back into the actual gameplay. All the beginning missions, and I'm still, like I said, I'm probably 4, maybe 5 hours into the game, and I'm still playing missions that are introducing new game types to me.
Yeah, they do a great job of actually getting the missions, getting you into fun shit that you would kind of imagine would be later on in a game, but they're throwing it right at you. And speaking of missions, there's just the thing that cracked me up the most about this game, and it's kind of just, it wasn't even that big of a moment, like in the end, but there's one mission where you're trying to chase this guy up the top of this tall high-rise, and you get up to the top, and he barely escapes down like an express elevator. So like your whole group is like, well, fuck it, he got away, and your guy's like, no, I'm gonna get him, and he goes and jumps on this huge like ball chandelier thing.
But it's almost as big as a house. This thing is just monstrous.
Huge. So you're the one guy shoots it down. So like you're falling and like fighting off people, like as you're dropping, and it shows a cutscene of the guy you're trying to get running out of the elevator. You squish him, you crush him with the ball, and your guy jumps off, and the ball busts out of the building and just starts rolling down the road. And they show
like Indiana Jones Boulder style.
Like they show a cutscene of people, getting squished and trying to get out of it. But I mean, that wasn't even the funniest part. Like 1 or 2 missions later, which could be like days in actual game time, you're driving down the road in your car going to a new mission point, and over the radio you hear a breaking news story that the ball is still rolling around.
Yes.
And like they're like, we have no idea when this menace will stop.
Yes. That's great.
So is the core gameplay, is it Grand Theft Auto at its core? I mean, despite all
I mean, it's
but
the feel of driving and shooting like Grand Theft Auto.
But personally, to me, this game controls a lot better than any Grand Theft Auto ever has.
The driving feels a lot more solid. The driving doesn't necessarily feel realistic, but it feels more fun. The way they've mapped the buttons, I am using a gamepad to control. I am playing on a
I'm
piece.
using keyboard.
And it plays fine with the keyboard. Actually, the one problem that I'm kind of having with the game is the mouse keyboard controls for the shooting works so much better than the gamepad. Again, for me, because I play a lot of first-person shooters on the PC, but then everything else to me feels a lot better with the gamepad. So I've kind of been going back and forth to determine which one I want to settle with, but it works great either way. But yeah, my quick example that I have to have, and I hope I don't ruin this at all for Jason, but I have to kind of state it. Because I was trying to explain this to people at work, and they just looked at me like I was fucking crazy. But the mission that I did last night, that I actually had to pause the game because I was laughing so hard, was that you're kind of recruiting people into your gang, and one of the guys that you go and recruit is essentially a pimp.
Oh, I did that one.
Okay, you did that.
Yeah,
okay.
I did that today after I talked to you.
All right. Well, the guy's essentially a pimp, but he has a trach. He has to use a voice modulator, but his voice modulator is like a big scepter that has like a microphone on the end of it, and everything that he says is in auto-tune.
Awesome.
He completely speaks in auto-tune. That's not the best. That's not the part that cracked me up. The part that cracked me up is that you have to go into this place to rescue him that he's been held captive in. He's been being used as a sex slave in this building. This building is filled with like gimps, basically. And you're going around interrogating people trying to find where they're keeping this guy. And like one of the rooms that you go in has dildos all over the walls. Another room that you go in has a machine in the back corner that basically is on a hydraulic pump that is just pushing a fist back and forth that you sit in front of. But anyways, it kind of remind me of Top Secret for a moment there. But anyways,
or Public School.
There you go.
Never mind.
But then you find out that the guy's being held in the basement. Well, you go in the basement, you find him, and he's got a saddle on his back. And then you also notice that there's other people that are dressed similarly down in this basement that are all in like kind of gimp-esque apparel with saddles. Well, as you're about to untie the guy, like you and your partner are down there, and you hear guys coming to kick your ass. So you look back at the guy that you're rescuing and go, "Sorry, buddy," and then you jump into this rickshaw that he is tied to. And tell him to go. So he charges out. He runs out of the building with this rickshaw and you guys in tow. And the part that cracked me up, and you kind of have to see it just to kind of, that makes it that funny, but you run out of the building, he's pulling you on this rickshaw, you turn around to start shooting at people behind you that are chasing you, also being pulled on rickshaw by gimps. And then the part
It's quite a sight.
Yeah, it's quite a sight. And then the part that cracked me up after I unpaused it and got back to playing was that as you're shooting the people in the rickshaws blow up like they were cars.
Oh, jeez.
I know, that was the part that was like, yeah. Like they have some sort of gas tank or something.
It must have hit the fuel tank and made the thing explode. It's just,
That's awesome.
That is just like a small part of how crazy that fucking game is. So
I can imagine the developers were just pissing themselves laughing doing this.
Well, yeah, can you imagine like trying to like, okay, somebody comes up with an idea for a mission, and then you have to be, who was the guy that had to go in and constantly say, no, not enough, fucking crazy, or
like no, that
stupid.
dildo's clipping into the wall a little bit too much there.
Yeah, I imagine
Sounds like be your work.
Yeah, imagine the QA testing for that.
The one thing I think that they just probably had a ball with, which I do, is if you just run down the street with just your melee, your hands equipped, no weapon, and you do like a charging attack on somebody, it'll be like a random, almost like wrestling move.
Yep, you
where
can do
like a Stone Cold Stunner on somebody, or like I don't know, it's insane.
My favorite is still the one where you'll jump over the person's back, like leapfrog style, and then like look around like you totally didn't see him, and then turn around and just pop him right in the head. It's totally comical, and it's just stupid, crazy fun. If you're okay with people like in gimp suits and a lot of cursing, but the graphics are very cartoony, so it's not like it's quote unquote.
I think it looks good though.
It looks really good,
but
it's
like a cell shaded type.
Almost, yeah.
Kind of
It's not realistic though, so it's not like super offensive in how it looks.
That screenshot you took, Steve, of your character was awesome. I'm looking at that and I'm like, that is sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did look good.
Oh, and dude, the character creator. Holy shit. It's about as, I would almost argue that it's deeper than like a City of Heroes character creator.
Oh, wow.
The amount of shit that you can change on your character is fucking nuts. But I highly suggest, if you're at all interested in what we just said, go check that game out. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I wouldn't have expected that. I probably would have stayed away from it. But if I get some extra cash, I may actually pick that up. It sounds like a fun game.
Yeah, and it's got online co-op too.
Yeah.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to check that out tonight. So.
It's supposed to be pretty easy, drop in, drop out.
Cool.
And your progression carries over, that type of thing.
Nice.
Yep. But I think we need to move on to what everybody is here to talk about, and that's Skyrim.
What?
Yay.
Everybody likes that game, right?
Yes, that game is amazing.
Yes.
Okay, that's all we needed to say about it. Let's move on to...
There's no differing opinion.
Did you guys
like
get all
that
the?
game.
Did you guys get the toys at Toys R Us to put in the portal of power?
What the?
I thought this was... No, we're talking about the Zelda game.
Talking about Skylanders, right?
Oh,
geez.
Skyward Sword?
Oh, wow.
Nah. Anyways, since it's the person that's been here the least in the longest time, Brian,
Oh, geez.
I'm going to start with you. Pressure.
Yeah. Where do I begin?
That's a good question. Okay,
luck.
first, where do you begin is how are you playing your character in Skyrim?
I am playing a Khajiit male, and I'm playing him as a stealth archery type of guy, which seems like a fairly popular choice among the multiplayers on the forums, at least. And I'm really, really liking it.
Is it your first? Was it the first character that you made?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Went away right away with the. I have a plan, sort of. I'm going to do that first, and well, at least for my first go round through the game, and then second, I'm probably going to try a magic user, and then the third, I'll probably do like a hybrid of like a fighter magic user. But yeah, it's amazing. It's funny because I've been off of MMOs for a few months now, and about a month and a half ago, I loaded up Oblivion again, and I've never gotten through that game. I don't even think I've gotten 25% through that game, even though I really like it. And I did the same thing. I rolled up a stealth archery type of character, and I was enjoying it, but there were a lot of things that bothered me about archery as a way of sort of being able to do combat throughout the game. And they've totally remedied that in Skyrim. Archery is amazing so far. As soon as you get like a few levels into the skills there, you can totally, I can see you working your way through the entire game in archery and not having to fall back on melee as much as you would normally have to do in the other games.
Yeah, with the stealth, like 2 times damage, and then I think later on you get a zoom ability that increases damage. So yeah, it's...
And then you get a zoom with, with the zoom, you also get time slowdown.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And it's fantastic because, I mean, if you get good with it, you can actually get off a few shots if your targets are far enough away. You can get off a few shots, and if there was a crowd of like 4 or 5 mobs that I was trying to get past just before we came on here, and I was able to get 2 of them down like before they got to me, and I was actually able to sneak away. And so now I had to pause, but now I just sneak back and take them down again. So it's kind of fun to be able to do that and really like stay true to the chosen sort of combat that I've decided to go with.
When you get the 30% speed on draw perk in that tree, it makes it really viable for close-up combat. So if you have like a bunch of people coming at you, it's incredibly satisfying because you'll use your zoom and slow-mo and you'll just fire over and over, and then you'll end up dropping 3 to 4 people, and sometimes you'll still be hidden in stealth while you're doing this, and they'll just be searching for you, and so you'll get the bonuses in there, and it's an incredibly, because I'm playing the same type of character, it's an incredibly satisfying feeling. So going up that tree, some of the later perks are pretty incredible. They are so fun. They make you feel like a badass.
Though you do touch on a point.
You guys are making me want to do archery.
The thing is, I would stick with your first choice because I haven't tried them all, but I think all of them are going to be pretty awesome. And there's so much to see in each playthrough, I think, that you might as well stick with it, get through your first playthrough, and then start up a new character and see all the things you missed while experiencing a new archetype. So
you're assuming a lot that I'm going to get through a playthrough.
That's true. That's true. I don't play as many games as you do, my friend. But I plan on making this my go-to game for the next little while. So.
Oh no doubt, man. I was quite surprised with the amount of hours that I had soaked into it so quick. I think I had already almost matched the amount of hours that I put into Dark Souls over the course of time that I'd had it. So.
Oh, seriously?
8 hours.
Yeah. Well, I've not beat Dark Souls like anywhere near that, but I had soaked a lot of time into Dark Souls, and I think I had put as many hours into Skyrim quicker.
How many hours you got, Brian?
58.
Jesus Christ! I don't even have that much.
I don't have room to talk. I have like 42.
Wow.
I took 2 days off of work.
Oh,
Wow.
you did. That's right.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is.
I think I only got 20.
And then the other thing I wanted to touch on really quickly is just the performance of the game.
Yeah.
I remember loading up Oblivion about a year and a half after it came out, and I couldn't run the thing on high. I had to run it on medium, and I had a pretty up-to-date machine. And even when I loaded it up recently, it was still a bit of a, I want to say a beast, but it still could, like, you know, it had a heavier load than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile,
You could
with
drop a couple pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you don't want to tell it to its face, cause
Yeah, I was still gonna do it, but you know. But this game, I don't know the tech that they're using on it. I loaded it up, and I'm at Ultra, and I'm getting max frames per second, and I'm, you know, absolutely, like, you know, loving it, and it looks incredible, and I've not had any crashes. It's just like a well-oiled machine. I can't believe what they've done with the tech.
That's the biggest surprise to me too, is that however many games that I've been playing on the PC lately, and that how beautiful that game is and how well it runs. It's just even like, because I know Dean was talking earlier that like you are in constant awe of how beautiful everything is.
Yeah.
And I am as well, but I'm more of in constant awe of like how beautiful it is, and it was like, how in the fuck are they doing this?
Yeah.
Like how the hell?
Yeah. It's really jaw-dropping, and I know it sounds really tacky, and in 5 years we'll be like, ha, that game looks like shit, but
No, there'll be mods.
there'll be mods to fix that. But seriously, I mean, you'll just be riding your horse or walking wherever you want to walk, and you'll hit a vista, and you'll just look over, and it'll be, you know, running on my machine. It'll run between like probably 40 and 60 with VSync on even, which is just crazy. But it'll run perfect, and it just looks amazing. It's a complete. I mean, if you've played the series before, it's like you have Morrowind, you have Oblivion, and none of them worked this well on existing hardware. But I guess you gotta keep in mind that it is being developed for, you know, hardware that's been out for many years. So they've worked a lot of optimizations into the engine, but it is absolutely breathtaking to. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much time I've just sat there and been like, oh god, it's so pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
Have they said, is it their own engine or one?
Yeah,
they made it. Yeah,
it's Gamebryo. It's a modded Gamebryo. They've been using Gamebryo for years, but it's just a modified Gamebryo.
Remember when Bethesda acquired I'm feeling the guys who made Rage,
id
Tech. Remember that all the a lot of people were saying, I wonder if this will influence and finally make Bethesda their actual gameplay visuals, you know, less janky and less buggy, and I wonder if that had anything to do with it, consulting with them.
Maybe.
That's possible.
Oh wow, yeah.
Different engine completely, but maybe.
But yeah, they could have been, John Carmack, we need your help.
Maybe that's how they found the optimization there. Because it does look a lot better than Oblivion, but it's the same engine, right?
Well, it's totally reworked.
Modified. Yeah, heavily modified.
Because they said, like, because a big portion, not a big portion, but some of the work going into redoing the engine was to make sure third person worked better.
So,
which it does.
Oh, it looks great.
Are you playing in third person, Brian?
I go back and forth. Sometimes if I'm doing archery, obviously first person is the way to go. Or at least I find, because I can get a more accurate idea of where my arrows are going to go. But if I'm doing melee, I like to pull out. Oh, I like to pull out.
I bet you do.
She's appreciative of it.
And so I go back and forth. And also, it's just nice to take a look at your character and the sweet looking armor they have. That's the other thing. The character creation, I hated it in Oblivion. Everybody looked like a fucking potato face.
Yeah, that's a good description of it.
And in this game, everything looks amazing. Like, all the characters, I want to roll one of everything.
I can actually look at characters' faces and not, like, go, ugh, gross.
Yeah.
Because in Oblivion, they look like ass.
Because what made it even worse in Oblivion is when you talk to them, it zoomed in on their face.
Yeah.
Look at how ugly I am.
My low-res texture, isn't it great? Yeah.
All right. Well, I know Rare's playing in third person too, aren't you?
I'm going back and forth
you?
like Brian is. Yeah, I do. Like with Magic, I'll go first person, and then with Melee, I tend to go back up to third person because, like you, first person Melee just feels weird to me.
Yeah.
But third person Melee.
Look at my hands. It looks like your hands are on strings or something.
It's really strange. But third person, I'm really, really pleased with it in comparison to Oblivion. It feels very natural. My character doesn't feel like janky. Like when I'm running around, I'll go to third person just to look at everything. And
yeah, not even just the difference in combat feel. It's the difference of
like walking.
Because like playing like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, third person always felt really weird walking around, like you weren't connected to. If you felt like a marionette, like moving kind of across the ground, your feet were kind of dragging across it or whatever. But in this, they did a really good job of making it feel like your feet were planting into the ground and shit. So it's good stuff. I love it. Jason.
Yeah.
How are you playing your character?
I'm like doing a pretty even mix. I have jack of all trades. I haven't really focused on anything too much.
I think me and you are probably in the same boat because I'm not staying on one either.
Well, I think it's because it sounds like you and I have about the same number of hours put into it, and all these other people have crazy number of hours already into it. So like I feel like once I get to that point of 40 some hours, I'll have focused or narrowed it down to a couple paths.
Good point.
But like now, I'm still I'm still wrestling with. I'm wearing some heavy armor, some kind of lighter armor, just depending on what kind of stats I have for each of them.
I just changed that because I was doing the same thing. I had like a light, like leather chest and then heavy boots and gloves. But I just kind of took up blacksmithing a lot more, like heavily. Went online and found where a lot of caves were that would have nodes to mine, mine ore from. And started doing that, and I just made myself a full suit of the elven armor, which is light armor. So I think I'm kind of going down that path now.
Okay.
One thing I'm not sure I like though is have you guys gotten any of the Masks of the Nine yet?
No, I've not.
Yes.
Okay,
I just
so
got
I'm not
my
the only
first
one. So you know how all those are light armor?
Yeah.
Basically, these masks give you like really awesome bonuses, like you can breathe underwater, extra inventory space, speech improvements, and there's another one. Like there's 9, and they all do different things, but it's not just one ability; it's like 3 or 4. So they're really awesome, but they're light armor. So I have the rest all like dwarven armor, and I want to spec up in heavy, and get that bonus where if you wear all of the same set and all heavy, you get a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do that because the mask is light armor, but the mask is really awesome.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish that those would count as both, because technically it doesn't really look like armor because it's this big metal mask on your face.
But it's so light, Rare.
It just kills me. It makes me sad. I just wish I could get those bonuses because the masks are awesome, but I don't want to give those up. You know what I mean?
That gives me an idea because one of the things that kind of bothered me, I know with the first mod, I know a lot of people are complaining that the first mod they want is to change the UI for the PC version. Because a lot of people are kind of complaining about it. I don't mind it too much, but I can see the complaint. I don't mind it at all, but I can kind of see some of the issues with it that people are pointing out. But I think the first mod that I want the Mr. T mod. I want to be able to wear all the necklaces. Because it doesn't make any fucking sense to me why you can only wear one necklace.
And like one ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mr. T mod. Somebody make the Mr. T mod.
Mr. T mod.
Yes.
I could see both hands on my screen. Let me have 2 rings,
At least.
Yeah.
See, what I thought was ridiculous, though, is
one of your shouts could be "Pity the fool."
It kind of sounds like Dragon Speak. Pity da fool.
But I was talking with Riv and Scary on Twitter, and Riv's like, should I get Skyrim? And I said, yeah, totally. And he says, because I've been reading these articles, and there's an article that says you shouldn't buy Skyrim just because the UI is shitty.
What?
Really? Yeah, like
that's petty as shit.
Was I just hate the UI, so you shouldn't get Skyrim? Like, dude, are you serious?
That's pretty petty.
So, people, if you haven't bought Skyrim, get more than one opinion, because that guy is
like ours, because we're all that matters.
I'm the only one who's been playing with a gamepad, right?
No, I've been playing with the gamepad.
I like it. Yeah.
I like it a lot. I can't, especially first person. I cannot.
Tell us, Dean, what?
What's that?
No, it's just I can't imagine playing an Elder Scrolls game with a 360 controller. I don't know. It's just I'm a purist, and I'm sure it's wonderful and great, but I would.
We're just not as good as you.
It makes no, not at all. It's not that. I would literally
Getting his game hipster on.
No, yeah, I played Oblivion, or I played Elder Scrolls before it was cool.
Ooh.
No, it feels like
He played Elder Scrolls when it was Young Scrolls.
Yeah. No, I
Young
would feel
parchments.
dirty. I would feel dirty playing with the controller. It just doesn't feel right because it's always been a PC game, and if it's your preferred method of control, then more power to you. But oh my god, I wouldn't be able to do it at all.
No, it's not my preferred method of control. It's just I've kind of realized that they are designing the UI around the console, so I figured that would be easier to play that way.
And once you get used to the UI for the keyboard and mouse, it's not bad. I mean, I've seen posts in the Bethesda forums with people saying, "Oh my god, the stock Oblivion UI is better than Skyrim," and they are
That's bullshit.
Smoking crack. Like they are on crack if they're saying that because the UI is not bad at all. I mean, you can assign hotkeys from your favorites, stuff like that. So I mean, it works very well. Sometimes there may be some issues clicking on things within the menu, and I hope that's addressed in a patch. But the UI itself, one of the first things I did when I got Oblivion was I modded the UI. But in this one, I really don't have the desire because it works, and it works very well. Even if it was designed for console, it still works with the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, I agree.
The one argument on Reddit that I saw against the people saying that the UI was bad was they were pointing out stuff in the older like menus in like Oblivion and Morrowind. And the one that kind of like got me was showing the inventory and showing like 10 different things that looked exactly the same, but they're all different. It's like, you can't tell from that what the fuck's what, but you're complaining about this UI.
Yeah. Plus,
people
you have
hate change.
Yeah.
And then
Those are the same people who probably hated Oblivion because they loved Morrowind.
Oh yeah.
And then the same fuckers who complain about Facebook whenever that changes too. So.
Okay, Facebook changes are annoying though.
Yeah, who uses Facebook anymore?
What is a Facebook?
It's this book you put your face on. It's rather painful. Anyone can stare at it.
Sounds horrible.
Staring at Facebooks. I don't think I've asked Rare yet. Rare, how have you been playing?
I'm going primarily destruction magic and healing magic, and then I just have 2 one-handers because I got like an ebony war axe when I robbed the central bank of Markarth, and I won't say how I robbed it, but it was really easy. But I got full dwarven armor, and then 2 one-handers, and then the rest just magic. And
Did you put buckets on their heads?
Did you?
Oh, no. Okay. I did it through a quest, and it was totally awesome, which is why I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
It would spoil
I thought you went with the bucket trick.
No, I haven't done that yet, and I don't plan on it because I feel like that'll just really break any sense of like immersion with the game. Like it's hilarious, and I think it's awesome, but I don't want to do it.
Good for you.
For those who don't know at home, the bucket trick is you can actually pick up a bucket from someone's home and then put it over their head, and because they don't have a line of sight of what you're doing, you can steal whatever they have.
Yeah.
Can you rotate the bucket? Can you rotate stuff when you picked it up? I haven't figured out how.
You can, but I don't know how. I don't know how either.
Okay, I don't know how either. If anybody knows how, let me know.
All right. Dean, you said you're pretty much playing like Brian, right?
Yeah. Oh, but I wanted to hear about Rare's experience with destruction and healing magic. It's cool.
That's okay.
I am not playing with magic primarily, and I would love to hear the opinion of how it works in this game, if that's
sure.
Okay.
So you know how this is kind of an inside thing for us, but we have a thread going on Skyrim, and how everyone's like, "Yeah, my Lydia's dead," because Lydia is the companion from Whiterun.
Mine's fine.
I am the only dude who's never had her die. Lydia's never died to me all game because restoration magic just keeps her up all the time.
But yeah,
you know it.
My Lydia's alive too.
Yeah,
mine too.
You give her pots too, by the way. She'll use pots.
You know, I can
Really?
do that, but I go through them like really fast, so I almost feel like I could just like keep on healing her with fast healing, because fast healing is really awesome because it's like an instant 150 HP, and because I have points into the tree, it's not mana intensive. So I can just spam that and then spam my fire abilities, because that's the primary what I'm doing in Destro, and that just works out well for me. So primarily I just use magic, but when people get up close, then I'll switch to the one-handers and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But
are you using your restoration one hand and your destruction in the other? Is that
no? I dual cast and then I switch with the UI, which is why I don't think the UI is bad, because I can switch in like half a second. I don't see it as such a big deal.
So you're not
just me.
Are you using hotkeys at all for that?
Yeah, I have my like weapons are like 1 and 2 with the bow and one-handers, and then I have like 3 for fire and 4 for healing, and just kind of goes from there.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. Like, it's not really as satisfying as like a stealth kill, because you just run up and barbecue people, but when you barbecue them and they like get flown down halfway through the hallway because of the force of the barbecue, it's hilarious.
Same thing happened to me with the lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Nice.
You hit someone and they go flying down the hallway, just like, oh man, that was awesome.
Dual wield lightning bolt and shoot him and have him fly back. I didn't expect it at all because it hadn't happened yet, and then it finally happened to a like a necromancer or something. I was like, oh shit.
My one complaint is the like sparks or flames, whatever it's called, the basic fire ability is basically like flamethrowers coming out of your hands, and it's really badass. And then the upgraded version is just like a bolt, just like your standard firebolt.
Right. Yeah.
So it doesn't look as cool, and I almost kind of wish that they would switch them around, so you'd have the bolt for the basic, and then the fucking flamethrowers out of your hands for the upgraded version. But I haven't gotten to the mastery level spells at all, so maybe those are like super awesome, and I just don't know yet.
Well, but I think they're just supposed to be different because the bolt, like the lightning bolt and the fireball spell or whatever it is, are like single time use. They're
you got to be a little more strategic how you shoot them.
Yeah, but the sparks and the flame ones are more like dots, but you have to just maintain it.
I suppose it also does give me range with the fireball,
Right.
like hit people
Very
in
true.
a fort with the magic. I didn't really think about that, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm
I
enjoying.
think you can use both abilities and still have them work effectively. It's just how you want to play with them.
Yeah. The advanced and mastery spells, those are what I'm waiting for. I'm actually in the mage college right now in my playthrough. I'm
doing
not
the
very far in,
quests?
so I'm just about to go do the first major one.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. I'm excited.
I just finished those the other
Is it really
night.
good?
I wouldn't say it's really good, but it's very good. It's very, very good.
Okay, awesome.
So at the
what are we
mage
talking
college,
about?
The
We
mage
call
college?
it Winterhold.
Yeah.
at the
I've
mage
heard-
college, is your bathroom 5 feet away like it is at your?
I actually
College.
have a dorm room, and you live with like other people.
It's Harry Potter. In,
Really?
Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's like my experience there was like I went there because my guy is an archer and not an illusionist, illusion magic specialist. So I use that in order to muffle and hopefully I'll get an invisibility spell and to like perform frenzies on groups of mobs so that they start killing each other. But I went to the College of Winterhold to actually just find illusion spells, and they ended up inducting me as a student. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, I didn't see it happening either. I was like, you go up to this bridge and like, okay, show me you can use magic. I was like, okay, sure, no problem. It's like, okay, great, now you're a student. Wait, what?
It's
So they give you this grand tour. I was like, here's your dorm room. What the fuck is this? I have a house back in Whiterun. Why do I have to live here?
When they ask, can you do magic, you should have used a dragon shout and be like, fuck your magic.
Oh, awesome. Especially on a bridge. I could have knocked her off. Probably would have killed her.
Oh, that would have been sweet. You gotta admit that area though is pretty. It's very atmospheric.
I love winter zones, and I think that
Yeah.
Skyrim as a whole, especially up there, is just awesome.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
agree. I if there's anything I can't stand, it's desert zones, which is the reason why I fucking hated Ion, and I have a lot of.
Everything is just fire and desert.
Oh yeah, and so to come into this and have it mostly winter and green and lush, and yeah, I'm totally happy.
Well, you are Canadian.
That's true.
It's like home, but with swords and dragons.
No, that's home. We have dragons and swords here. It's called hockey.
Yeah.
They learned dragon slaying in grade 10.
Hey, can I ask people about companions really quickly? I never use them. Has anyone gotten to a point where like if I didn't have my companion, I wouldn't have been able to survive? Or
Yes.
yeah,
Multiple times. Yeah,
I've had a
Lydia
couple.
saved my
Yeah, I've had a
bacon.
couple instances.
No.
Okay. No,
I'd say that there's probably a way that you could do it without it, but I think that there's been a couple instances, for me at least, that if I didn't have my companion, I would have had to come back later because I really wasn't just wasn't prepared for it.
Right.
But
what I would say, Brian, is if you're playing an archer, if you concentrate on making sure that you don't spread yourself too thin and go up the perk tree with your archer, as long as you do that, you won't need a companion at all. I'm playing on expert, and I'm not having any problems downing giants, downing dragons, downing pretty much anything, multiple mobs. It doesn't really matter. So as long as you focus on that one tree, maybe get it maxed, and then start branching out, you probably don't need the companion. At least that's my opinion.
I mean, my primary reason to have her is just because she's an awesome pack mule. That's how I make a lot of my money. Like, honestly, like I can just give her like 20 weapons and iron armor and just say, okay, just hold that for me. Thanks. Just keep on questing. It's great.
Here's a pretty dress. You might want to put that on.
So if she dies, can you pick up somebody else? Because like I've seen another few characters that will come with me. I haven't tried to talk to them yet, but will they like go into my house like Lydia did?
Yeah, I think it's like New Vegas where they base out of your house. Because I know you can tell them like I think we need to split ways for a while. She's like, okay, I'll just go back to your house.
Yep,
so yeah, I think you can get more than one.
Oh, okay. So I need to figure out who the hell wants to follow me now, because I have a couple people that were like, "Yeah, I totally want to be your friend." I'm like, "Fuck you! I'm a stealth guy. I don't want you to."
Well, see,
yeah, that's the way
I'm a loner, Dottie.
She hasn't ruined it for me.
I'm a loner, Dottie.
I wanted to ask you guys about that because you keep on saying, like, "Oh man, my companions are blowing the stealth for me," but even Lydia in like heavy dwarven armor, she doesn't get caught as long as I'm crouching.
It's more of a mind thing. Yeah. I don't feel comfortable walking through ruins full of what are those drugors or whatever, while I have some chick in heavy armor squatting behind me. It's just like
okay,
that's not for me. I don't know.
I will say there was this one part. There's a dungeon like with like the foot pedals where you stand on it and a trap happens.
Yeah. Oh yes.
There's this giant metal fucking swinging door with spikes on it. And I swear to God, Lydia stood on this thing like 10 times, and she killed me twice. And I was just like, I swear to God, if you step on this again, I'm going to kill you myself. And she didn't, and that's why she's still alive. But
the best is when there's like a body right there that you want to loot, and you go walk over to the body and loot it, and like you're bending down, checking out the body, and she walks up right behind you and steps on the trap. And
yeah.
Fuck.
Just a minor complaint there, trying to kill me, take my house.
Well, I mean, it's realistic. I step on those.
Oh
things.
yeah, I do too. But like after I've stepped on it, she'll go and step on it like 5 times. It's like,
I have
really?
these mouse traps on my toes right now.
Did you turn around and tell her it was there?
Yeah.
And then try to lead her around it?
Hey Lydia, there's this thing on the floor. Don't fucking step on it.
Click.
Oh, you mean this one, Rare? This one right here? Bam, bam.
And then she'll do it. God damn it. I had to do a quick save before that trap because I'd already died there twice just to make sure I didn't keep on dying.
Yeah, I'm already married in real life. I don't need to deal with that in the game.
I don't need your baggage, Lydia.
She carries my baggage.
I was telling me how your armor chafes. All right. So consensus is Skyrim is pretty fucking awesome.
Pretty amazing.
The only thing that we haven't even talked about is dragons.
Yeah,
are they really important?
They're annoying and repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the first like 5 are really epic, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna go back to town and sell my shit. Roar! God fucking damn it!
Like these dragon bones are too heavy.
Yeah.
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 They're beautiful, but
and when they come screaming down on you, it's pretty epic. But taking them down with like little to no effort is a bit.
It gets old. Infinite Dragon sounds awesome.
Yeah,
but it's in practice.
I mean, it's not bad, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, okay, I think I've killed.
I like some of the situations that you can get in with them.
Yeah, I've had it where a giant was fighting the dragon for me, and then the dragon died, and I had like 2 mammoths and a giant on me at melee range, and I died. That was awesome.
Best picture I've seen online so far was the guy that was standing on a hill looking down. A mammoth was attacking a dragon. The mammoth was being attacked by 2 dragons. I can't remember exactly how the whole thing was going down, but there was basically 2 dragons and a mammoth, and I think a giant coming in. It was pretty awesome looking.
Wow, that's cool.
But yeah, the game is absolutely crazy. But I'm sure you've either formed your own opinions about it now, or by now for it, or I can't believe anybody would still be contemplating it.
You should buy it.
Did we find out what Jason's playing?
Yeah,
I think we did.
Okay. Sorry,
I'm playing a hybrid. I'm just not anything
that's right.
specialized yet.
Yeah. I remember. Sorry. All right, go ahead.
It's all right.
But you guys are selling me on this game. I think I'm for it.
Okay, good segue. Something I don't know if we need to, if this is going to be selling or not. In the news, Star Wars: The Old Republic, the NDA was lifted.
Star Wars.
Has anybody here not played in the beta at all?
I'm on it right now.
All right.
I think I've this entire podcast.
I've probably played.
Serious?
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Wait until you go back and listen to this, where you're going to be disappointed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought I did some decent interjections, but overall, I'd rather hear from Brian.
You would think that. I can see how you would think that, but
Okay, I'm just terrible. Maybe we should just leave the podcast now. Bye, guys.
I'm just fucking with you, man. Come on.
I've probably played the game the least. I only got to play it over a weekend.
Me too.
And that was a while ago, but general thoughts. I'll just do the round table thing yet again. Everybody's going to love it. General thoughts. I'll start with Dean.
It is an MMO. It is a theme park MMO.
Indeed.
It has BioWare storylines. You press 1, 2, 3 to shoot things, and you go kill 10 things, and then you come back and turn them into an NPC.
But they talk to you.
And they talk to you.
All right, Jason?
Yeah, he said a lot of things. But the fact that it's a BioWare MMO, I am totally jazzed for. And I played a lot of beta a long time ago, and I haven't played because I don't want to ruin any more story. I played multiple characters up to like level 20-ish, and I stopped because I want the fresh experience. So I'm looking forward to the stories that, from what I hear, just get better and better as the levels go on. And I think I really like the graphic style of the game too. It was something that I was really worried about. That once I saw in motion and saw it, actually on my computer screen, I thought it looked really, really good.
I was really worried about the animations. I had been.
They looked
very
super janky early on.
Yeah,
those videos
they
were showing.
Horrible, but they do look pretty damn good. So, but I think I don't even know if we have to go around everybody, but I think the general consensus is you probably already know exactly what to expect out of the game. It's pretty much a standard MMO, but there's voiceover work, and if you have no interest in that whatsoever, you probably won't like the game.
Yeah.
And
there was a quote from Winnan, and it's really simple. Just as a Star Wars fan, I'm going to enjoy the game. As a multiplayer, I'll have fun keeping up and playing with friends. And then as an MMO fan, I'm kind of let down by the restrictive design of how it's basically just a theme park. And I think that's probably the best way to sum up the game.
Yeah, it's not going to be too new. I'm still excited to see what's going to go on with the PvP, which by the post that Scary linked everybody to on our forums today about the open PvP zone, that sounds very promising.
No one talks about Fight Club.
I know. I guess I'll stop talking then. But I'm also not worried, but curious as to how deep the space combat's going to be. Because have you played it?
No, but just the idea of it being on rails, I'm still very gaming bitter about that, just because I feel like it could be so much better if it was fleshed out. But maybe that'll happen later on.
I have the same sentiment, but I can't see how they would do something too grandiose within an MMO. I can see how they had to do something like put it on quasi rails. So I'm just excited to see how if it feels good and if it feels like it fits into the game, and if it's Star Warsy, then I'll be pretty happy about it. I just kind of want to know how much depth there is around it.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But Brian, I know you're probably not playing, right?
No. I played the one weekend of beta. I was in a second weekend. I didn't even bother downloading it or launching it. So I'm pretty much in the same boat that Dean is in. For sure the MMO features I find are really lacking. I thought Rift did actually a better job at trying to change things up than this game is trying to do. And then, second of all, I'm just not a fan of BioWare's RPGs. I've tried, and I love sci-fi more than anything in the entire world. I love Blade Runner. It's my favorite movie. And of course the old Star Wars movies. But like, I couldn't get through Mass Effect, and I didn't bother picking up the second Dragon Age because they do these voiceovers, and it takes me out of the story completely. I feel like I'm watching a lame movie at that point, where I'm just trying to get from point to point to see the next bit of movie through some fairly lame combat. And I don't want to hear a douchebag voice coming out of my character unless it's my voice, which is something I said on the forums. Everybody's got this voice like this. They're all professional voice actors, and it just does nothing for me. So
you didn't even like the Canadian Commander Shepard?
Is he Canadian?
Yeah.
No.
He's very Canadian. Okay, never mind.
I even made my guy look like you, Brian, because that fit.
Yeah, so for me, the fact that I don't care for the way BioWare does RPGs, that's pretty much a showstopper for me. And then the whole thing that this is the Old Republic Star Wars. It's not a Star Wars I'm familiar with. It's not the Star Wars that I love. It feels like a bastardization of what I did love, and it's much cooler than the new movies, that's for sure. But it still doesn't do anything for me, really.
That's cool.
Other than this sounds like this game had like everything going against it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's nothing wrong with that. That's respectable.
No, I'm not saying that's bad. I mean, that's just his preference was everything opposite of what BioWare is and what this game was gonna be.
Yeah.
And there's no way that they were going to make a good game for you.
Yeah,
exactly. And you know what? The thing is playing it, I can tell why people will like it. I think it's going to be really successful. And it's all very personal reasons why I don't like it. So I would never be able to review this and say it's a terrible game. It's just not the game for me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very well put.
I think that's totally fair.
But I'm excited.
Honestly,
I wish that I could play with you guys. That's the thing I'll really be missing out, is that everybody is excited. All the multiplaying guys are excited, and you guys are going to have a hell of a time, and I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, I will totally agree with the point that the play style of the MMO, like the combat in particular, is not exciting whatsoever. But I am personally excited to be in game with other people that I have not been able to play in game with for a while or at all.
It's like Rift, but with Star Wars.
Well,
I'm excited about the stories that
I am as well. I am a fan of BioWare's way of storytelling.
Yeah.
I like that I will make choices and they could come back to either bite me or help me in the future in the game, like on the long run of the game. I was already, in the short time that I was playing beta, I was making choices, some that I would probably never have made in the real game, but just to be stupid because it was beta.
Just to see how it played out.
And just to think, like, and there's some of them that I did not see a resolution from that I was thinking in the back of my mind, I wonder how the hell this is going to come back to bite me in the ass, because I know that was probably a bad choice for my quote-unquote character. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how that works. I was actually, because when I did play the beta, I played with Jason quite a bit. I teamed with him. I was actually surprised how much kind of like, I don't know if we want to call it positive reinforcement that they had behind grouping.
Yes, yeah.
How the grouping worked and how
the decision things worked.
Yeah,
and
how you would make decisions as a group. That was, I don't, after playing that, I don't really want to play it solo. Like, a lot of people are saying, well, you can kind of play this game solo, and by all means you probably could, because of the way that they're formatting the story and the experience. But after doing that, I really don't want to play solo. It just seems like something I want to constantly be in a group with. I especially love the if you can be running all over the place, and one person can go turn in, quote unquote, turn in the quest, and if the other members aren't there, they still need to help with answering the dialogue. They can actually hologram in to that spot. I thought that was pretty interesting and pretty neat and Star Warsy feeling.
I've heard there's some restrictions on that. Like sometimes you can't make like big choices if you're in a holocall.
This was all like, I don't think I got past level like 11 or 12.
Well, at a certain point, it wouldn't make sense.
Right.
Like if there's going to be consequences. But I mean, I don't think you and I got to do them together, but Shannon and I did the flashpoints. I really liked.
Yeah, and I did not get to do those.
The Alessis or whatever, the First Republic one. I've done that like 6 times now. And
that's so much fun.
Awesome. It's still awesome. It feels like you're in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Like you're it's just awesome.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Like, I'm really looking forward to those type of things with my friends. Just running through a Star Wars environment and having
instead of that wife of yours.
Yeah. God, shh.
I will.
I think she heard. Hold on. No, I'm just cleaning.
I will disagree with you on one part though, Steve. Really? With your Origin world where you first start, I actually enjoyed it more solo than I did in a group.
Did you?
And it was just because I'd been playing. Right now I'm playing a Jedi Knight because I've tried Trooper, I've tried Smuggler, and I honestly hate Trooper, but I won't go into why. But Jedi Knight, it felt like I was Revan in KOTOR again when I was doing my Origin world.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt like I was playing a really great KOTOR. And like I have, your droid companion T7, and I was building a repertoire with the game where I could get myself into it. So I feel like with your Origin world, I'll probably enjoy playing that alone, just because it feels more like you're getting into the game.
Like tutorial.
Yeah, and then as soon as you hit 10, you go and do the Alessis, and that's where you get in the group and go do a fucking awesome flashpoint, and that's great.
I can see that.
So that's just my one little disagreement there.
Well,
and the Trooper sucks.
Yeah, I played a little bit of the Trooper. I didn't mind it too much, but I did somewhat agree with your points that you were making on the forums about how he kind of just seemed very straight-laced, militaristic. But I'm curious to see how that character actually changes later on.
Yeah,
but
I'm
not
hoping
play
he
it.
fleshes out, but I don't think I'm going to have him as my starter after all.
Right.
I think I'm probably going to go with Jedi.
I didn't touch the Smuggler because I'm still pretty determined that that's going to be my
It's awesome.
day one.
You'll like that. There'll be many Steve mustache jokes with Smuggler. I can just tell.
I hope I can put a mustache on him.
Oh yeah, man, you can have a great one.
All
I won't
right.
spoil it for you. That can be your primary thing to look forward to. Smuggler with mustache.
I'm gonna smuggle some mustache wax into that place.
I'm a dapper damn man.
Okay, he is here.
I don't want fop. I want fop. God damn it!
I thought you actually left to go clean because you had been quiet for like the past 5 minutes.
Him? No. But yeah. Anybody have any last words on the old Republic?
Like Brian, I will miss playing it with you guys.
Yeah, you guys are Yokos.
If it wasn't for Multiplaying, I wouldn't be playing it. But because
whenever
Multiplaying
Yoko made the Beatles back.
Awesome.
Shut up.
That's my answer.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
Show's over, folks.
You can't go! All the plants are going to die.
Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.
I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
That's awesome.
Cool story, isn't it, Dean?
You gave plus one. You got plus one to peeing.
Yeah. Bye, Kendall. Okay, he's gone.
I knew a stripper named Kendall.
Did you?
Yeah. Get a load of this. Her name was Kendall Lane Divine, and that wasn't her stripper name.
Sounds like
jeez.
It's like a drag name. Kendall Lane Divine.
The stars were in her favor that she just was born to be a stripper.
Exactly. It's funny. I was I started dating the stripper. I didn't even know she was a stripper when I first. She told me she was a dancer, and I thought like, jazz or tap,
ballet.
And then you were like, "You're really good at taking her clothes off."
It wasn't until we were in the middle of doing it the first time she said something, and I was like, "Oh, that kind of dancer."
In the middle of.
Yeah. And so she says one day, she's like, we got to go pick up my friend Kendall. We're going to go get booked at one of the clubs. I was like, oh, okay. And so you're on our way driving, and she's like, Kendall's a little forward, so I hope you're not too, and I was like, I think 18 at the time, shy as hell. And so she was like trying to brace me for it. She's like, so if she goes,
might whip your dick out.
Yeah, exactly. So she gets in the car. First thing she says to me is, hey, hon, I just got my tits done. I won't be able to get into the back seat, so can you go back there? And so I had to get in the back seat so she could get in the front. Well, I don't know. I guess she didn't want to, I think it was a two-seater. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, for the next 4 hours, she was trying to show me her tits. It was crazy.
Sounds horrible.
This is staying in the podcast.
Awesome.
We were talking about the stripper I knew named Kendall, by the way.
Oh, I have a wireless headset. I heard the whole story.
Oh.
Oh. All the more awkward.
Oh, wait a second. You went to the bathroom?
With your headset on?
I live in a dorm room. It's like 5 steps. So, I mean, does it really matter?
I feel violated, kind of.
It's like we all followed you into the bathroom.
She actually came into my work one day when I was working at oh boy. And she actually threatened to show me her tits then too. It became the thing.
Threatened.
Is that a threat?
Yeah. Believe it or not, at that point I was like, because she kept on saying, "Do you want to see my tits?" And I just started, dating this girl, and I was like, "Well, I can't be saying I want to see another girl's tits." So I just was
a dancer.
I was 17. I
think it was okay.
Yep. Second thing she said was, "So is this the guy that eats good pussy?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then she says, "Does he have a big dick?" Yeah, it's pretty big. And at that point, I was the good old days.
Brian just had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking
This part's not staying in the podcast because it's not that funny.
But Brian has his own editing software, so he totally got that on tape. He's just going to loop it. Do you want to do a level check just to make sure that came out okay? Or?
It's part of my theme song that I play while I'm making love to my wife. What are you talking about?
Oh.
Well, you want to make sure it recorded? Or...
Brought to you by Brian's Dick. Oh, God, we do need a...
It's pretty big. It's pretty big.
It's fine.
It's acceptable.
That's what we'll do. I'll put Brian's Dick.